live, and what you can't do. Turn up, turn down. Turn up, turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, turn up, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn up, turn down. What a party! Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Come on, everybody. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. I tell ya. Just turn up. Turn up. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Life is a discotheque, I tell ya. Turn down. Turn up. Turn down for what?
Oh man, I don't know what that is.
I have no
What does that
idea.
even mean? I'm gonna unplug this again. That's the microphone.
Holy moly. Right, welcome back to Andertons TV. Today's video is looking at a new looper from Valeton called the VLP-200, which you can see on the floor. And honestly, we've been playing with this for about half an hour, doing what you would normally do with normal loopers,
Yeah.
you know, just like guitar and then an overdub, whatever. And then I sort of went, well, hang on, but you can plug mics in and you can do the drums and da-da-da. So we just plugged it in, and what you heard Pete do was literally all off the cuff.
Off the
So
cuff.
I don't even know.
I don't know where they come from.
It was just, that was just a bit of fun. I was kind of hoping
Song's
we might
called
get
Live.
a...
It's a discotheque, and it's streamed.
Yes.
Well, you can stream that on all.
I'm not sure. Comment below. Does that beat this loop when we were doing the Vox Mini Go? Or this loop with the Line 6 DL4?
Oh, the Bernie.
Bernie is a nice guy, and he's got a nice car.
VLP-200,
Yeah.
super affordable. I think we have to. That's the context of this video. I don't think it's necessarily doing anything that other loopers haven't done before.
No,
but it's like
really.
half the price of something like a Boss RC10. So you know,
Yeah.
perhaps that's its angle. So it's about just over 100 quid.
Uh-huh.
If you just want to use it as a standard looper, you completely can.
Yeah.
There's probably an argument that says if that's all you want to do, why don't you just go and buy a Ditto or something that's 70 quid or 80 quid or whatever.
Because it's only that much more to get
That's
all of
true.
these more features.
But I guess that
I don't know.
trying to sort of encapsulate its main features. So it's a 2-button looper.
Mm-hmm.
It has 2 modes that you can run those loops in.
Uh-huh.
In serial mode, essentially you are you are switching between the 2 loops.
Yeah, like a
So-
verse and a chorus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what Pete said, and we'll maybe do that. That loop, that clip right at the beginning is what's called free mode, which is where, again, you've got the two loops still, but you can combine them. So you can effectively, you're not switching between what you've recorded on loop A and then going to loop B.
It's like a layer, you have two different layers you can layer in and out on the drums. It's especially handy if you're running the drums in the background, because then it kind of makes sense in my head.
Exactly.
And my foot.
So that's, and we'll probably demonstrate that. The drums are built in, so there's 100 different drum patches in here. There's no way of routing this to put drums through a different output, so everything is just coming out of our guitar amplifier.
I mean, maybe in the future you could do that, because it does come with, with an app for your computer, so, you know.
Drums, you can adjust the tempo and the volume and choose your different pattern. You've got different levels for each loop. Oh, and that was it. And then the other feature, and it's actually relatively simple like that, is it has two record modes. One is called manual start, which is how most loopers work, where you've got to know to hit the one.
On the one.
The other is called an auto record mode, where you can arm it and it's kind of ready to do, and as soon as it hears that first note, it starts. You still got to know that you've got to stop it on the one, so I guess you still got to be able to count. It's stereo in and out. The way we configured it is one of the inputs can be switched to be either a mic or an instrument, so that's what we did here. It's got 99
problems.
99 problems.
And one. Sorry.
It's got 99 memory locations within there for its loops. And there is a bit of software that you can download for this that then gives you a library of an infinite number of loops that you can store on your laptop and your computer and load them back in via USB.
Yeah, and firmware updates and all of that stuff.
By the way, absolutely 100%, speaking about firmware, the very first thing that you should do with any product like this is dive on over and make sure you've got the latest version of the firmware, because that's how you get all the functionality we're talking about. There was one other feature I wanted to say before we start messing with it, and that was...
Well, you can hook up an expression pedal to start. That's how I was starting and stopping the drum loop.
So if you don't have that expression pedal, you just have to press this button, but it is a bit annoying to stop and start.
You have to have a really long, skinny toe to get in between those.
Yeah, so it's worth having a little single button foot switch to do that with it as well. So let's go into serial mode then, Pete.
Yeah.
And let's show, with or without drums, I don't mind, how you would use the two loops in serial mode.
Let's just do a loop quick. Let's just show. You've got volume for loop 1, volume for loop 2, serial free, that's your little knob there. You've got an overall level for the drums. You've got, if you click this, you can choose between your 100 different drum loops, and if you hit it again, it's just a BPM, right?
Cool.
This one over here is your memory, so if you want to go to program 1 or whatever, memory bank 1, and that's in there. If you hold it down, that's where you talked about if you want to arm it. Sorry, I'm just going to hit that there. You click the A. Sorry.
So MR is manual mode,
and AR is
automatic.
Auto mode, and that's really cool. So let's keep it on that. So instead of me having to click in on the one,
so you're in auto mode.
So I'm in auto mode, so I'll just arm the track.
So what you're seeing now is this red, you'll see it actually when Pete starts playing. This is a sort of a muted red light, like a low level red light, and as soon as Pete starts, it'll go to a bright red light and you know you're recording.
Like Amsterdam, red light district.
Exactly. Slightly different. Perfect.
Yeah, so there we go. So
we might as well... Do you want to just show, if you did want to use it as a normal single button type overdubby type thing?
Now I can just overdub my... I'll just swing a bit on the top of it, so I go...
But they're all part of the same loop, so obviously you can't now adjust the volume of those layers, only the overall sound, but
that's where you need that. So, and then if I want to then move on to my loop 2, which in this case will be my chorus, for instance, or whatever. So I'll have to come up with something else to play.
Interestingly, what you need to notice is this flashes
on the one
every time you go back to the 1, and the second loop has to start on the 1.
Yeah, so I have to arm it just right after it clicks. It's a little bit...
I think you can arm it and then just start, can't you?
Yeah.
On the 1.
Yeah, so let's see. So...
Are you thinking of something to play?
Yeah, no, I have to think about something. Okay, so I'll stay on it. So
There's the...
So here, so now it's going to come back on the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there it is. So that's now my second loop.
This is so... I like this feature. It's a cool feature.
And I can up, you know, I can
Overdub on that if you want.
So anyway, so I just put a little bit of that on top of that. If I want to go back to the other one, I'll just click the other one.
But it won't come till the 1.
It won't come to the 1, so I have to wait. So let's go over here.
So this is nice now. So it's going to wait until
like
this loop gets back to the 1, and it'll just start playing the first loop again. So that's fine. So that is serial mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me stop that again.
Very, very cool. If you liked that, you could then save that in preset number 1. That's serial mode. I will say, obviously, if you are going to switch between 2 loops, the tempo of those 2 loops has to be absolutely nailed on. Now, Pete's very good at doing, you know, like a 4-bar or an 8-bar kind of loop and keeping the tempo
Click
nailed
out on the 1 as well at the same time.
Mere mortal people will struggle to do that without a metronome or a drum machine. So I would suggest, if you're struggling to get the tempo of your 2 loops the same, do it with drums, because the clever thing is you can record it with the drums and then turn the drums off. One of those 99 patches as well will be a metronome.
Is it?
So you could literally just record it with a metronome, get the tempo absolutely nailed on, then turn the drums off, and because the drums are not looped as such. The drum is a drum machine that it's separate, that the loop syncs to. Anyway, so let's go over to free mode, which is what we saw in the first clip, which is where you're now just essentially you've got this B loop that you can choose to
bring in and out. It's like 2 different parts you bring in and out. Maybe I'll use the drums to demonstrate that.
That tempo point is the same in free mode. So again, unless your timing is immaculate, use drums or a metronome or something because as soon you get this thing with 2 loops where if they're 100th of a second different, you might not hear anything for the first 4 or 8 bars, and then of course it does. So do it with the drums, and then that way your timing will be better.
Save this first.
Is it just a single press? There you go.
Yeah, 1 press, 2 press.
Got it.
So now if I go to 2. Nothing there, back to that one. So there we go. Perfect. So I've got that. So let's get to that one. And also, if you didn't open that up in your app, you can drag that out from there. Right. As far as I'm aware. So here's 2. So let's go to 3. Let's find a nice drum.
Whoa! Bit loud.
Yeah.
Bit fast.
A bit loud and a bit fast.
This sounds like, it did anyway. Walk This Way by Aerosmith.
Let's slow it down a bit, baby. Let's slow it down a bit. You know, like 92 dBs is always like cool. Anyway.
Is it the rhythm of life?
It's a rhythm of producers that wants to write a 3-minute 20
Could I just ask, if you just turn the drums off with your thingy, can I just explain to everybody why you used the drive pedal before and all that kind of stuff?
Well, that was just so you know, always with the looper pedal, I have it in the end of my chain of my pedal board before the amp. People put it in the effects loop. I'm not that kind of guy. I like to be able to actually record my effects into my loop pedal. So that the guitar goes into that, and it goes into the looper, and it goes into the amp. So I can use it as a solo, or I can just use my. By the way, that Halcyon Blue sounds great. So I can use that as a solo on top of everything else. So that's why I'm using that, Lee. It could be any pedal. You could put modulates and stuff in it too. So now what you want me to do is loop one thing on here and then have another thing that I add on top of that. top. I can layer that in whenever I fancy. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, it's got volume for the second loop as well. So now I can just turn it up by double click on it, loop 1. Turn that back in. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. Turn it back off. It's my original loop on there. Or I can turn the drums off.
Now you got
and run both of them. Or stop both of them. There you go. You have to double click to stop.
You do have to be careful in free mode because
it doesn't sync up the two loops.
Well, that's what they are, completely independent. So your drum track and your two loops are separate. So if you turn them on mainly, not in sync with each other, they will just begin to play in their own free mode.
That's why it's called free.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell, regardless whether there would be a little thing inside, maybe a little extra switch at some point in a firmware update where you can go, I want it to be synced up with each other or not. Maybe inside the thing, I don't know.
I think this is a lot of looper for the money.
Yeah.
It's, again, you can dive on over to the Andertons website to give you a full breakdown of the spec in terms of it's pretty high in terms of its bit rate for recording and all that kind of stuff, but who cares about that?
I do.
Well, look, that's it. It didn't come with a power supply, I don't think, did it?
I think it's just a normal... It's normal.
Is it battery? No. So you've got to buy the power supply separate, normal guitar, 9-volt power supply type
easy
thing.
Peasy, yeah.
I don't think there's much else to show you, is it?
It looks good, it plays well, it sounds good, it's relatively easy to use. I think as any looper pedal, if you're just starting in with looping, you have to stick with it. It takes some time, man. You can't just expect to be...
It'll be interesting to see, given that it's a stereo in and out and it'll take a microphone as well, whether or not this is the kind of thing that other instrumentalists will begin to sort of play.
Yeah, I would like to say that you have to use a XLR to jack.
Yes,
so which is not... You have to buy one of those extra.
Are you feeling like more inspiration may come around now just to end this video?
I'm not sure about that. I thought the one I just did...
the one at the beginning was cool and fun, but I think
so what you want?
I think there's another one in you that has just I don't know.
Is there?
I don't know. I think there could be. Well, look, we'll find out, right? Yeah. I think we'll say goodbye now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Join us again tomorrow for more hilarity and silly guitar videos. Yeah. See you later. Au revoir.
I can't get no Oasis rock. $2,000 for a ticket. It's gonna be so expensive, but people are still gonna go. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Wonderwall. Anyway, it's Wonderwall. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Anyway, Who's buying tickets? Are you buying tickets? I hope I get a free ticket to this loop. Go on ticketmasters.com.uk and buy your tickets for next year's biggest event of the summer, which is Oasis 2025. Come on. Oasis is back.